So there is this mod, right, called Alex mobs. And it's like this mod which adds a bunch of new creatures into the game. As for now, there are about 43 new mobs in the game, both real life creatures as in fictional creatures. All of these creatures have their own unique purpose in the game, each with their own mechanics and animations. So not a single mob in this game is just for aesthetic, they all have a purpose. But they're also not done yet, because this mod is still in progress, and so they're adding more and more animals into the mod as time goes on. And so I thought, why not take the animal part of this mod, put them together with some vanilla game animals, all into separate cages, and make people pay us just to see these animals suffer without their freedom. Yes, that's right. My name is Medicus, and we're making a zoo. So at first I chose some material to make the zoo. Then when I chose them, I directly started with the entrance of the zoo. Just pretty simple, it's just a place where the people buy their tickets. Here you have a little glimpse of it. Then I immediately started working on the rest of the front of the building. As you can see, I now and then use some cheat codes just to fill in large gaps of the same material so I don't have to place them all, or I would be doing this all day long. Also, I just want to note, for the front of the park I used an image of Google looking at a real zoo entrance to base it a bit on. Then after I was happy with the front of the zoo, I started with the roof. Here you can see the front of the zoo again, looking pretty okay. Then I started working on the walls of the back of the entrance. Here you have a little glimpse of the roof when it's done on one of the sides of the building. And here you go, you have the base of the building. But then I noticed our first visitors of the park. Unfortunately, it were both bats as cockroaches. Yes, the cockroaches are added because of the mod. They spawned because there was too less light. Then of course I took my sword and I destroyed all of these filthy cockroaches. So after that problem was fixed, I immediately started working on the floor of the building. Now I'm just looking to add some details. Now I've started connecting the roofs of the two buildings together so the whole building looks more one thing. Now the roof is done, I started working on the floor. First I started with cobblestone, but that was looking too bad, so I had to switch it with concrete. Now I'm just adding some plants to the park so it just doesn't look too empty. I started working on the name of the zoo. As you can see, it was just too big, so I started changing it with something else. And here you go, our super original and epic name for the zoo. Of course, if you guys can come up with a better name for the zoo, I can always change it, just say it in the comments. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it like this. Now I just started working on the center of the park. Now I'm making a place for the map to go, so people can see where they are. And here you go. Of course, I added a bunch more plants to it so it doesn't look too empty. And here you go, here's the map. So then I started working on the walls of the entrances of the next biome, because the zoo will actually be separated in different biomes. So the animals of the desert biome will be one section, the animals in the forest biome will be another section, and so forth. More plants and other details like benches. Then for this middle part of the center, I didn't really know how it would look like. I only knew I was like going to do like a sort of fountain, but it was just too big at first, and then the form of the fountain was just a little bit weird. Of course, I found something I was pretty okay with. I just started working on the signs of the park. These signs will show where every biome will go, like To your left is the desert biome, to the right is the other biome. You know the drill. And at first I wasn't really like happy with the sign, because as you can see there's this weird space between the fences and between the signs. So you have like these weird floating signs. But then I just did it anyways, because all the other things look just too ugly. Then of course some more plants. And here you have our first look at the zoo. Looking pretty decent if I say so myself. Then a final bunch of details I added. I actually have to say I'm pretty happy how this turned out. I think I did my best I could. It's not the best in the world, but I think it's really good for what I could have done. Of course the rain had to interrupt us. But yeah, this is our zoo, looking pretty good, a good start. And then we can finally work on the animals next episode. Well guys, that was it from my zoo. I'm very happy how it turned out. I think I did my best. And of course if you want to see more of this, you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then I'll see you guys into the next episode.